Your mom's like, watch your TVT, dear. It's good for you. It's like, I don't like TVT. But don't worry, guys. This is TVP. Here's our Terran player from the Team Zenex. He is...
It's like actually such a good analogy. I like that.
It's good for you. It's good. You'll never grow as a StarCraft player if you don't know your TVT. And at the top of the map, it is our Protoss player from the Team Slayers. He is...
Slayers, Alicia.
One player's name is from an old game he played. That's Alicia. The other player's name means poop. That's Byun. Although I think it's part of his real name too, I guess. So it's kind of unfortunate.
Well, it's funny, when he first changed his ID to Byun, they censored it in the GSL. I don't know if you guys remember. Way back.
Rumor has it that they did that as a joke to tease him, but then he got kind of mad about it, so they just changed it so they didn't censor it anymore. So, way for GOMTV to troll the players.
I thought it was pretty funny when that happened.
It was funny, but apparently Byun didn't find as much humor. Yeah.
But after they stopped censoring, he got better and made it into Code S. Did pretty well.
Yeah. He got that courage. So, Alicia sees the gas, so do you think he's going to go for a fast Nexus Wolf?
You know, I don't think he will. This is a large map, this is Terminus, but he's already scouted the gas, and it's very difficult to want to do that because if Byun sees that his opponent is going for a fast expand, he'll actually just decide to make a factory and then do that timing attack. And I don't think, I think we're just going to see him do a Marauder expand. In fact, he's already started tech lab on that barracks. May even just do it with one barracks. It's really common to see on this map.
Makes a lot of sense. Second gas going down for Alicia as well, so definitely.
You don't normally see Void Rail ends on this map, so you know Marauder expand's pretty good.
Well, it's such a big main; it's hard to make it work. So yeah, that would make the Marauder expand safer. And there's a Marauder in the concussive shells right there.
Our observer clicked on it.
Yep, it's gonna be.
You guys didn't notice.
Thanks, Legend. We might see more of his picks later today.
Legend's a cool guy.
Legend is a cool guy.
Tried to qualify actually for Code A, didn't work out for him though.
We can't lose our observer. He can't qualify.
Yeah, he lost on purpose.
It's like making play against all the strongest players. We're like, you can't qualify.
Yeah, it's like Speed Racer racing on Thunderhead. He almost beats Rex Racer's record, but he doesn't, so that he can keep his brother's name on the board because he thinks his brother's dead. That's like Legend. He's like, I could have qualified for Code A, but who would observe then when I had to play? I can't do that.
Someone tries to recruit him to an evil team. They're like, do you want to be a real StarCraft 2 player?
He's like, no, I'm an observer. And they're like, oh, okay. The stalker could get caught here.
Yeah,
the probe certainly will.
Well, better a probe than a stalker at this stage in the game, that's for sure. And this is that little poke that can sometimes do a decent amount of damage. It sometimes can cause a Protoss player to have to pull probes, lose a couple. Especially with the Reaper jumping on the high ground, you can take care of the Sentry fairly easily, try to pull units back a little bit. All comes down to control.
This is going to be pretty hard for Byun to pull off, though. I don't think this is going to work like he plans. And in fact, the Reaper will get taken out. Probably going to force field. Actually, he sees the units retreating, not even going to force field. And this little pressure move by Byun was able to see everything, but I'm glad he turned around without trying to break up the ramp with his Marauder, because that would have been a mistake.
Yeah, with 2 sentries, it's very difficult to do that, to manage that.
There's the command center going down for Byun as his second barracks starts a reactor and he takes the second gas.
Yep. And a Nexus for Alicia as well. Now Byun also playing pretty safe. He knows that with seeing those 3 gateways, he might need to worry about a little bit of aggression when that Nexus goes down. So he's getting that bunker just to make sure he'll be okay.
Yeah, I like that. You know, it doesn't hurt too much to do that. You can still salvage it, get your minerals back. You know, the majority of them.
Alicia's composition is very sentry heavy right now.
It's very true.
That's a lot of sentries for something like this. Seems that way.
It's kind of funny because he hasn't really seen, I mean, he saw the Marauders, but he doesn't really know what kind of type of composition he's up against, really.
Yeah.
So it is somewhat of a risk to do that, but I like his choice here because he just wants to get aggressive. Make sure that Byun doesn't have a command center on the low ground. He's going to check with that probe right now. And if, of course, he saw one with a few bunkers, he would have been able to just crush it. And now he doesn't even necessarily need to attack. Byun actually doesn't know about this attack coming. He sees a few units coming down, but I don't think he realizes what's happening because he hasn't pulled in the SCVs.
Yeah, this.
Oh, and he might actually move down the ramp. Oh, Guardian Shield's up. He's going to go. He's going to force field the bunker here. Byun could be in some serious trouble, but the SCVs are on the correct side of the bunker, so they can repair.
Yeah, the force field doesn't quite block him off. Still a lot of units though for Slayer's Alicia, but it looks like Byun should hold. No problem.
Byun actually holding really easily. Alicia losing a lot of units.
Yeah.
Worker count right now, 29 SCVs to 26 probes.
There's even an SCV in Alicia's base right now, too. It's like, I see everything.
He wants to be a probe. He's like following the probes as they transfer.
He is. He's like, just blend in. Just act natural.
He really did. He tried to be one of the probes, and they said no.
SCV's like sitting in the middle, and he's going like, beep, boop, beep. He's like trying to convince the probes that he's one of them.
He's like, probes kind of sound like a cat sometimes, I think.
It's a little, it's true. It's true.
It's like that angry cat that just got woken up by its owner and like picks it up.
It's like the homeless cats around Mokdong that we've given names to.
Yeah, we name those cats.
You see them all the time. Yep. They all have stubby tails.
Yeah, I don't know the story behind that.
I don't know.
Robotics facility going up as the starport finishes.
Yep.
Which always is a scary place to be if you're a Protoss. If the starport is out before you have Colossus tech, the timing attacks just seem so much harder to deal with stim and medevacs.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's if Byun goes right forward to medevacs, as it looks like he's going to, there's really no chance that there's going to be a Colossus out by the time this hits, and this is going to be pretty tough for Alicia to handle then.
He does have a forge going up. He's going to start that +1 armor almost immediately. Now I'm curious to see if he's going to do another round of warp ends with his 3 gates, or if he's going to add that robotic support bay. Making a second observer.
All right.
Byun is just securing his command center very safely. Doesn't look like he wants to be aggressive just yet.
Yeah.
Which is going to be good for Alicia. Armor has been started, and actually it looks like he's going to add some more gates. He may not actually go robotics support bay. He may actually just add a Twilight here pretty soon.
Could be a good decision. I mean, he knows he doesn't have time to get the Colossi out in time for the push that's probably going to be coming. So if he can just add on, that many more gateway units with that plus armor,
start getting that upgrade up there. Yep.
Yep. I think that's his best bet of staying alive, really.
Yeah, I was talking to Naniwa a little bit about what he thinks about, just that sort of decision, getting the Twilight Council or getting the robotic support bay, and he says he likes the support bay because it allows him to be aggressive, whereas the Twilight Council really doesn't. I think that really is kind of the trade-off. I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's really what you sacrifice there, but it is a little bit safer defensively to get the Twilight Council. He's going to lose his pylon here.
Yeah.
Oh. And a Scouting Marine will stim and go in to see what choice he made.
Oh, what a smooth move by Byun. I love that he's going to see probably everything. Yep,
yeah, he does see the Twilight Council.
Yeah, really nice move by Byun. And he may actually just decide to go for it. I mean, he could have been checking for Colossi. Looks like he is moving his units up there now.
They don't think this is a good time to attack. He knows there are a lot of sentries there and a lot of zealots, and +1 armor is almost done. This could be a mistake.
Oh boy.
He goes for it, targeting down the sentries. Gets 2, gets 3 sentries, but now he's trapped. Using the medevacs, there aren't very many stalkers to chase.
Wow, that was, he lost a couple units, but overall, that was a really cool little move. I mean, he killed all the sentries except 1, I think, and managed to get away the units without losing a whole lot. If you look at the supply, Byun's still a little bit ahead.
And now he's going to kill a pylon and then leave. Yep. Byun doing a great job with the Soul Harass, showing some great control.
This is pretty typical Byun TVP. He likes to do a lot of drops, likes to just keep a lot of harassment going all game long, and he's really good at it too, as you can see.
Yeah, well, when you're very aware that your opponent doesn't have very many stalkers, if you have good control, if you're confident, you can very easily just lift over the force fields and get out like he did. And, we've seen a lot of Terrans try to do that and fail, but Byun obviously showed that he really could control.
Yep.
So, I like his choice there, and obviously what he wanted to see was what choice did you make, Twilight or Robotic Support Bay, and when he saw that, he decided to add a Ghost Academy, not making any Vikings continue medevac production, and he is just on top of everything this game.
Yeah, I mean, he really can put on the pressure as well, too. He's going to have Ghosts out easily in time.
Templar Archives is finishing up. Probably going to see no Storm, excuse me, probably going to see some Archons first up.
Yeah. Well, that do more for keeping Alicia just safe right now,
Guardian Shield goes up. He's going to try to attack here. Charge is done. And in fact, a lot of Byun's units getting caught. Decides not to commit, though, as the drop goes off. Zealots warping in here. I'm not sure if these Zealots are the right choice because he's going to lose the majority of them, and then Byun can just leave.
Yeah, he's going to kill some Zealots with really not taking much damage in return. Yeah, look at that. Losing 3 Marines. That's it.
That is it, man. And
much more cost effective.
He basically lost 6 Zealots in order to try to save a pylon, losing those warp ends. Storm is starting as 3 Templar warp in. Another drop, though, in the main will be shut down. He's just going to target down these Stalkers if they get any of those. And this drop being completely shut down.
A lot of Zealots being warped in weird places, too. It's kind of nice to get Alicia to be able to spread his units around, too, like that.
Yeah, well, the thing about Zealots is they defend drops quite easily unless you have only Zealots. Then, of course, if your opponent has enough multitasking ability at that moment, he can, of course, just out-micro the Zealots. So you have to have a good mix of units to defend drops. It's one of the biggest challenges. These High Templar can help as well with their feedbacks.
Look at the timing for Mobius Reactor and Ghost. Mobius Reactor is going to finish a split second before the Ghost. Oh, well, actually, no, the Ghost finished a split second before Mobius Reactor. So almost nice timing, but not quite.
Not quite.
He mistimed it by, like, literally 1.5 seconds there.
In-game seconds, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it was close. But Ghosts are out on the field. They won't have EMP for a little while yet.
And these Zealots holding their charge a little bit longer. He's got a lot of Zealots here. Byun is going to have to micro his heart out.
Yep.
And he does.
He's got
nice control here.
And Zealot's coming in from the other side. He's going to try to surround him.
This is a really nice attack by Alicia. Will he be able to break through the bunkers? Nice EMPs from the high ground. Hits all of the Templar.
Yeah. Wow.
A lot of Alicia's Zealots on very low health. There are 3 bunkers up here. I'm not sure if he should try to engage this.
If he does, I don't think that's going to be a great idea.
Nice Storm.
There. Yeah.
But yeah, with the bunkers there, the Zealots are just not going to do the damage that he really needs to. If he gets that Archon, maybe one more round of Zealots, he might be able to break, making a second Archon. Byun just has to hold on a little longer. He's got more Mirage on the way, more Medevacs to join up here as units are back at full hit points, and it looks like Alicia's going to go ahead and try to attack the 3rd base location, which I think is a much better idea. Avoid the bunkers, engage where he can have a better concave.
Well, the supply about even for these guys right now. Byun is going to need to leave the bunkers to defend this 3rd, but he's got so much bio that it may still be okay.
Zealots coming down, charge goes off, some EMPs will probably try to hit those Templar. Nice Storm! All of the units of Byun walk into the Storm!
Very nice. 5 Slayers, Alicia. Byun having to lift his command center. Zealots trying to attack up the ramp right now. Oh, nice snipe on those High Templar, but look at that. So much bio getting damaged by the Storm.
The SCVs just barely get out of there as well.
Yeah.
And they do save the command center, so the command center stays alive, but he's no longer mining from that 3rd base. Alicia has powered up to so many gates. He's adding more gates back at home.
Yep, adding on that robotics facility as well, robotics bay rather, so he will be able to move into that Colossus production.
Yeah, he's going to have 2 robots pumping out Colossi to follow this up, and there are no Vikings out. And this is a very common Protoss strategy, I guess you could say. It's not even really a strategy, it's just how Protoss plays, where you go Templar, your opponent is forced into Ghost, and then you just switch up into Colossi to finish the job.
Well, right now, oh, nice scan.
The Observer was naked.
It was, and that is embarrassing, man. That Observer turned so red. You know, both of these guys are playing really well. I mean, Byun's playing a very good standard Terran versus Protoss, and Alicia's playing really smart, too, you know? He's making a lot of good decisions.
He does have enough energy for a few force fields. He may try to force field and target down the command center.
Yep.
But right now he's just trying to freak Byun out. He's trying to attack from multiple different locations, so Byun has to keep moving his army.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, these Templar are lagging a little bit behind here, but Byun's not going to notice it. Not going to be able to take out those Templar for free. Cloak being researched in plus 2-2 is on the way for the Terran army. Right now, Alicia's army is at 2-1, soon to be 2-2.
And Byun trying to get a little bit of map positioning back. He's getting Cloak for his Ghosts as well. And Cloak for Ghosts isn't something we see quite as often as I would think we would in PvP. It's so useful, but yet we see a lot of Terrans just trying to sneak their Ghosts in and EMP, you know?
Well, we've seen Byun actively try to kill Observers as well in this game, and with the Colossus switch going on, he's not going to want to make another Observer. And in fact, right now, there are no Observers on the field.
Oh! That Medevac has 2 hit points right now. And here comes a big push by Byun. Here he goes!
Zealots running in here, some nice EMPs,
Really
but the Storm goes off. All the Ghosts die to the Colossi very quickly. Does Byun have enough? I think he just might actually have enough to break through here.
He might. One Medevac accidentally get a loading up, but the Archons and the Colossi is going to be way too much for him to handle.
I literally think if he had not had those units in that Medevac, he might have had enough to break through. Losing some Medevacs now in retreat. And Byun knew he's constantly been ahead of supply. despite the fact that Alicia's had better mining for so much longer, Byun has just been able to keep up with his macro a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this one. The Colossi,
well,
do they have range? They do have range. He's going to be able to poke at these bunkers if he wants to. It's very difficult for the Terran to engage this location.
Yeah, not a Viking in sight for Byun right now. So many Archons and Colossi out for Slayer's Alicia. Not a lot of gateway units, but this is still a pretty devastating force for the Protoss player.
Yeah, and as soon as that pylon gets up, he's going to be able to continue to reinforce with gateway units.
Yep.
Here goes the engagement. It looks like Byun having a better concave. Alicia knows this, backs up. Zealots doing as much as they can.
Man. Colossi plus Storm equals a bad day for Bio, that's for sure.
These Vikings want to engage. They're taking so many hits, though. The Vikings go down. These bunkers are empty.
Yep.
And Alicia's like, well, I don't know. You don't have any more units. I guess you should have taken a 4th base earlier, but I didn't let you.
Nope, because like you said, this guy's the chosen one. GG. And Slayer's Alicia getting to put one in the W category.
Alicia knew those attack timings so well. In a matchup where Terran usually kind of controls when the engagements happen, Alicia said, no, I'm going to control when you fight. And it's going to be on my property. It's going to be on my terms. It wasn't on his property, though, man. He took that all the way to Byun's base.
Yep, Byun was like, get off my lawn, but it wasn't soon enough. Oh, well. So Byun down 2 games in the up and down matches. There's a pretty good chance we're going to see him in Code A next season. It's going to be tough for him to come back.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he can sit down with his puppy and have a...
Yeah, he's got a cute puppy at home. It's okay.
Yeah, he can...
It's fine.
He can kind of come to terms with it with the puppy and the puppy in his lap. Pets the puppy, becomes like an evil person. He pets it like like Mr. Bigglesworth.
Like this. That's how he's petting his puppy at home. He's like, Alicia, I hate you.
He like goes into cryogenic freezing for 30 years and comes back and plays like Starcraft 6. And, like,
Starcraft 16, yeah, that's
like,
right.
His puppy doesn't have any hair.
Like DJ Mini Wheat comes and knocks him down into Code A again. He's like, ah! Yep.
Could be the future, man.
It is.
It's like Nesty is still playing.
That's right. Yep.
He like smacks him with his cane. He's like, Byun, get out of here.
Nesty is just a brain in a jar at this point with like these robotic tentacles that like press the keyboard.
Who knows what's going to happen in 30 years, man. Octopus. We're still commentating.
That's right. We're just brains in jars too, with great hair.
I don't know if I'm going to be a brain in a jar in 30 years, man. Like
I want a robotic body, you know? Well, 30 years, that's not a long time for us, actually.
Do you really want a robotic body, though? What if you can't really feel anything?
I want a robotic body that can only feel good things. So not pain, not tiredness, you know? Just happy.
Well, what if you're like sleeping and someone comes and like starts sawing off your robotic legs and you couldn't feel pain? Then what would happen? You've got to feel pain to some extent.
I guess. Well,
or maybe you just get like an alert that's in your ear. It's like an alarm. It's like someone is cutting your legs off and you're like, oh, I should probably wake up and deal with this.
Not again. Byun, I know you're evil now. Stop it. But yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to take a 5-minute break, so stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming up.